Hi everyone, it's Rhonda here from Goddess Garage. I'm here to show the first video of how to start a junk journal. So I've gone ahead and made some points here. So I'm just going to get my little script out, so to speak. And because we talked about the junk journal the last time, and now we're actually going to take the first steps. It can be a little overwhelming sometimes because I had to go out and gather my supplies and make sure I had the right things. And I might even wander off camera a little bit in case I've forgotten anything. Hopefully I have not, but I've got all kinds of papers with me. Now the way I do junk journaling now, and I have done it in the past in different ways, and it's not to say I won't do it, but the way I do it with books now is fast and dirty and easy. I find them so much easier to do. So just to show you one. So this is a book that I read. It was a decent book, but I probably would have given it away or donated it or something. But what I do now with books that I don't want to keep, like, oh, that was a really good story, I might keep that one. If it was like, okay, I've read it, I've used it as a book, and now I'm going to upcycle it into a journal. And this really does give you the cover, the back, the binding sort of thing, right? Now I'm going to show you a little bit about what to look for. So you want, generally speaking, you want hardcover books, any shape or size, because you can make the paper work. But you want like a bit of a binding. I'll bring it really up close. So see right there where there's little divots almost. Those are individual little packets of paper that the professional bookmaker has put in to create the story. So this is the book we're going to tear apart today. And yes, it's heart-wrenching when you do it because you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm really ripping pages out of a book. And sometimes I feel a little faint. And I'm like, am I really doing this? And the first time I did it, I did seriously almost pass out, because to me, books are sacred, but at the same time, you're creating a sacredness to the books. Now, most junk journalers will have you looking over top and not seeing them. And I'm not on camera because I'm vain. I'm on camera because that's the only way I could tilt the camera to be able to see what I'm doing and stuff like that. I have another sort of setup on order, but it won't get here in time. And I just want to kind of get some of these introductory videos done. So we're going to have some fun. So what I've got, I'm going to go through some of the tools as well. So what I've got is I have done up a couple of what's called signatures. So let me show you what that is. And we're notorious as junk journalers for always losing stuff within stuff. So this is a signature that I did up. Now, generally speaking, I try to use 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. And if you use 5, you'll get 10 pages out of the signature. So what I've done with these guys is I've just simply stapled them. Can you see that? I folded the paper in half and then stapled it. And this is a game changer as far as tools go. So you can see that this is a very long stapler. So long that I can easily get this signature in here as soon as it cooperates with me. There we go, see? So I can reach the side. In fact, I can shove it right to the end if I wanted to. So you may have a stapler at home, and for quite a while I used just a regular stapler, but I gotta say, this is a game changer. And especially if you're a lazy junk journaler like I am. Now you can sew these, and I'm going to show you one that's sewn. And you can sew them into the book, and that's generally where I do the sewing as opposed to for each signature. Now I'll do it for each signature too, sometimes. But really, stapling is so much easier. Now this one has 5, so it has 10 pages. This one has 6. I was making holes, so it has an interesting back page, you know. Let's see what we can do with that. But I got out some papers so I can show you as well, like what you can do. So this is fancy butterfly paper that came with one of the bouquets my husband sent me. So that's a beautiful piece of paper right there. This is old packing paper. So what I often do, here's another tool, is, you know, it's sort of like not perfectly folded or anything. I folded it up and whatnot, but you don't want perfection, and that's the beauty of this. So let me see if I can turn on another light because it's kind of dark in here. There we go. There we go. Maybe you can see it a bit better because of that. I don't know. So this is a ruler of sorts, but it's got raggedy edges on the side, and it's for ripping paper. So if I want to rip this, now you can do this by hand, the ripping, but when I got this to do it, it's again a game changer because it just went so much faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, you can see it's kind of in 4 pieces. So I'm going to fold this one over because it's going to be a fold out or a flip out, as some people might call it. And I'm going to tear here. The trick to this ruler is making sure you have pressure on all the parts of the ruler, because otherwise the paper will just rip on its own or it won't rip at all. So you got to make sure you got your fingers down. So one side is a little bit more rip. I find when I'm doing pages to go into the book, I like the bigger rip because it just gives a better rip, so to speak. So this is another piece of paper. Now, keeping in mind it's going to go into this book. So, is it too big? Maybe just a little. I might take a little off the top. So I'm going to get my ruler. Now, in my art studio, because I'm out of my art studio right now, I usually have this put away. And the reason for that is I'm a cook that cleans as she goes. I'm also a crafter that cleans as she goes. If you put this back where you got it from, you won't be hunting for it. I've learned this because I've been hunting for this. So as you take a tool out, put it right back, because then you won't lose it underneath the papers. Just a little crafting tip. So I'm taking the width of the ruler here, and I'm just going to take a little off the top. See? Easy peasy. That is done. And I'm going to fit this. I'm going to tear a little bit off this too, because it's a little bit wonky and has been sort of flipped a little bit. So I'm just going to take a little. I don't want to crush that butterfly though. See? There we go. Now we're cooking with Crisco. There we go. See, now it's just a little bit neater. So we're going to take those scraps. And one of the best things to use as a garbage for scraps are takeout bags. Because they're always open, right? And I don't know, I just find them easier to put the garbage in. You use whatever you want. But just, you know, something I do. Now we've also got some lovely piano paper, or music sheets. Music sheets tend to be a lot older and more delicate, and they are also often larger than the rest of the book. So you can put it in large if you want to. I often put them on the outside only because they are bigger, so they have more ability to cover. But even this is bigger than this piece. So again, I'll probably take some off the top. Again, see, I lost my ruler. I lost my ruler after all that advice. Ah, here it is. It's slipped under. See, these little things can get very slippery very quickly. So I'm just going to take a little bit off like this. Easy peasy. Got a little scrap. Put that in the scrap bag. I might, just to make it look even and on purpose, rip this as well. So it looks like, oh, she did that on purpose. And then I will simply put this in here. Gather this up. Now, some other cool ideas is lace, or not lace, but doilies. Fold that in half. It makes for an interesting thing in the book. And then it's like a great spot to put something. Remember I was telling you about, you know, I had to watch a video to learn how to rip faces and pictures in half. These doilies are great for those kind of half pictures as well. So let me see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 if we're counting the doily. And I'll get some more. Now, some of these are like, oh yeah, here we go. Lovely card. Blank card, which is awesome. And we can put it right in here. And again, don't be afraid to use different kinds of materials that maybe, you know, aren't normally thought of as journal stuff. And isn't that pretty? The little blue lace of the doily is sticking out. I'm making this the cover of this signature. What else have we got? Let me see. Oh, we'll use some more of this. So I said it's, you know, just blank paper in this book. So I like to tear this out. Get a good start. And it's in another signature in my book, so it will sort of, it's nice to be able to tie the signatures together with a sort of, not a theme, but just a vibe, I guess, is what I'm going for. So I'm going to put this in between here and here. So maybe one more. So I'm going to do something thin, like 3-ring binder paper. If you have tons of that, which I do, because I bought so much when my kids were in school, that I now have tons of packets of 3-ring binder paper, and it's like, so I'm always happy to use one up. And there we go. There's our signature. Now, how to bind it together. Easy peasy with the stapler, and then I'll show you how we're going to get it into the book. And see, this one's the center, and it flips out. Now, it doesn't have to be centered to if it has a flip out. I could put something else in the middle here if I want to, but I don't feel like it right now. I don't think. No. Okay. Checking with myself. It's always good to check in with yourself. Okay, so put this back where we got it. So you're going to hear a lot of junk journalers talk about making for their stash, or bulking up, or what's the other word they use? You know, marathon sort of, let's get this supply done. So there's a lot of junk journalers, myself included, who will do the steps in bulk almost. So like I'll spend the evening in front of the TV if I want, and I'll make up like 20 different signatures so they're all ready to go for whatever book I decide I want to put them in. So this is one of the books that I use. Take this away, put this over here. Take this glue. Okay, so there's some different things you can do. For me, I use a lot of distress ink. I used to kind of do papers in big batches. That's the other word I was looking for, was batch making. And I loved it. You know, I still will do it, but I still have lots of paper that I've done it with. So I'm not really needing it a lot. But if you want to distress, it's called your papers. You know, let's say, you know, this is beautiful parchment here, but we're not quite sure what to do with it. So what you can do is you can take your distressing. You'll hear the name Tim Holtz. He's very, very popular in both scrapbooking and junk journaling communities. And he has all kinds of beautiful products. They're very high quality, so worth the investment if something catches your eye. Now, he has distressors that you rub with, and I'll show some of those later. But right now I'm doing Distress Spray Stain, it's called. And this one is antique linen. So you just spray a little, like that. And it becomes tea stained, right? So this is a lot of fun. And you can even blot it down like that if you want to do that. Or you can let it, you can sit it up, and if you've sprayed enough, it'll start to fall and whatnot. But it starts to look like coffee stains or tea stains, that sort of thing, right? It gives that edged look, which is always, or aged look, I mean, not edged look. What am I saying? What am I even talking about now? So this one nice bright yellow middle. Now you don't always have, you can pick any page. You can do 1, 2 pages, you can do the whole book. So if you don't want the stain part, so what I have is I was gifted some beautiful lavender water. I think it's Tamed Wild who made it. So one of my clients brought it in for me, very, very thoughtful. I can't remember who it was, so I apologize, but she gave me this. I also have bottles of rose water and orange water. So what this does is it crinkles up the paper after, you know, like, remember how I was saying in the last video, if you dump some water on paper, like this is why I tea stained things and whatnot, and I did it with beads. I was doing a lot of experimenting with the staining of the paper, but it can become very labor intensive. So if you just want a quick, you know, but the nice thing about this is it puts lavender in the book, and rose water and orange water that you can buy in the grocery store for like $2 in a big bottle, and you just go to the dollar store and put it in a spray bottle, and then you have water that you can spray. So you can spray on this, and what it will do is it will distress it but not put color on it, especially if you've got already a nice clear page. Oh, and I can smell that lavender. It smells so good. So it will give it that crinkly thing, but also it's kind of nice, especially if you're doing like a vintage journal and they open up the pages and it smells like lavender right away. It's like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. And you can fold it up right away. It doesn't matter. You know, like, do what you want with the paper, right? Just, I'm spraying this because I love the smell of it. It's just awesome. So the only thing is you have to let it dry. So that's okay. We're going to move on to the next step. So like I said, this is fast and dirty. And I love this kind of idea of tearing out the guts of a book and putting in the signatures. So we're going to do that part as well. But I'm just going to show you another book that I'm working on that I was shown another way to do the fast and dirty deed of making a journal. And like I said, you want to look for hardcover books because you can change that cover. A lot of book junk journalers, will use fabric, for instance. This is where the scraps come in. Or you can put like a picture that you've got, or, you know, if I had more of that patterned bouquet paper, because sometimes these bouquets are wrapped in gargantuan amounts of paper, and it's great for book covers because it's a little heavier too, so it's not going to tear or anything like that. So let's just show you here. So it had a beautiful inside, blue. I haven't finished this. I haven't finished the cover, as you can see. But what I did was I went in and I was tearing out pages. So you want to tear out about 11 at a time, somewhere in there, 11 to 13 at a time out of the book, because what it will do is it will give you space to be able to add in. Now this first page, or first-ish page, for instance, this is another bulk kind of thing I do for my stash. So what I do, I'm going to show you an example here, because this is an example, but it's sometimes hard to see, is I go ahead and I make pages. So what I do when I have a journal is I go in, I find a page, and I say I'm going to glue it right here. Easy peasy. And I have like a file folder full, well, more than a file folder, full of these ready to go pages. Sometimes I journal as I go. This is another one. If you're looking for a thinner one, you can decoupage sort of, these are napkins. Or sometimes what I do when I'm doing that napkin thing, I will tear this out or tear this out and use it in part of some other page. But if I'm looking for a thin page just to add in, I'll do that. Or I can also just work on this page and do it up like it's its own page. It doesn't need one glued in. But you can see I've been sort of working on this one, and it's got all kinds of little things in it, but it's not done. By no means is it done. And we're going to get into more about how we do this. So like I said, about every 11 pages. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea of what I do. So here's the book we're going to rip apart. It's a little heart-wrenching the first couple of times you do it, okay? Now, if there's a good cover, and it's usually thicker paper, so I almost always keep this because you don't want to tear this out, because what you're doing is you're kind of just tearing out the signatures. Now, sometimes, and this is a really cool book that I picked out, sometimes they have nice pictures within the book, right? So I'm like, oh, I'm not going to rip this page out. Plus, there's a lot of blank stuff that you could then either decorate, or you could make it space for yourself or whoever you gift or sell this junk journal to as a space for them to write as well. Now, this is a cool picture. I'm not sure I want to keep it, but I'm going to leave it just for now. And then, okay, so here's the first one. Here we go. It's scary and exciting all at the same time. There we go. First page out. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I've only done 6 pages, but I really like this picture right here. And I was thinking it goes all through the book. So I was thinking I would keep that. I would put something else here, but it would kind of be like the introduction to the next signature, whatever theme I happen to do. Plus the back of those pages is blank. So I can leave room for whatever they want to write in. Okay, so 6, 7, 7. Oops. And yes, people often ask me, 7, 8. Should I do it one at a time? Of course, it's your book, it's your journal to do with as you please, number 9 here. But I would recommend yes, because when you start tearing out 2 and 3 pages at the same time, you start getting a little triangle, and you already kind of get one with just one at a time. This is 10. Oh, see, now there's another one of these kind of pages, right? So 10, 11, we've done it. 11 pages are out. Now what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna create a pocket within the book. Now there's lots of pockets that you can create. There's lots of different ways. And I'm going to be showing you all these different ways to do it. Like for instance, I've got one sort of pocket envelope here. So this is how I use my book pages up a lot of times. So I find some nice paper that I like. I glue it to the book page, and I'll show you an example here. So this is a book page, and I've glued this, and it gives it a little more sturdiness. Now you can make a pocket right out of a book page. Like you don't need to add the extra paper. That's just what I do. Like this is a book page. You fold it up just like that to however far you want to go. And then you fold it down. And then what you're going to do, now, fold's a little crooked there. Let's get it right, Rhonda. Let's get it right. Here we go. All right, there we go. Folded it in 3s, so there's a little lip. And I'm gonna glue here and here, glue it in. But ta-da, you have a pocket now, okay? So that's a pocket. So for these pre-made ones, I could just glue this right in to the book, and I will probably do some of that. However, that being said, let's get to the page where we're at. You can also create a pocket as you're ripping. So like I said, I do about 11 pages, and then I'll fold it up like this. Now you don't want it right in the crease there, so you don't want it tucked too far in there. You want to be able to, fold it. And that's one version of a pocket. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to glue these 2 corners down, and ta-da, you'll have a pocket once they're glued down. So as I'm making this journal or getting it ready, I'll fold some of these down and I'll just tuck it away. I don't glue right away because it's like, meh, I'll keep going, right? So I keep going. One, oh, there's a picture. I want to keep that picture. Okay, I'm going to keep that picture. It's nice. Oh, and there's blank on the other side. So you want to make sure, because it's very easy to get over enthusiastic and want to put every stitch of bits and bobs into your journal. And sometimes less is more, right? It doesn't mean you can't do it, but it just means, like, if you've got a blank page, leave some space for your person that you're gifting or selling the journal to add their own little flares and embellishments. They're called embellishments when you decorate, like that page that I showed you. Here. This is called embellishing a page. They're also called ephemera, you know, decorations. The decorations themselves are ephemera, embellishing a tag or a page. See, this one even has a tuck spot. So I could potentially take this and tuck an envelope with something inside there. So, and when you looked at it, I'm sure you didn't see that there was a tuck spot. You just thought, it's just a very pretty journal. And it is. It's a journal page. And like I said, I've got a lot ready to go. So it makes so that when you're doing these marathon stash making kind of bulk amounts of certain things, it makes for the process of putting the journal together a lot faster and almost a lot more enjoyable as well. Not that it isn't enjoyable, it certainly is, but it's like, okay, now I do this and then I do that. And sometimes you're not in the mood for certain steps. And there's always like certain steps you dread, right? Like, I don't like sewing into a journal, so I avoid it like the plague. I can do it and I have done it, but I don't like to do it. But I'm going to show you how to sew signatures together as well. So this is number 3. 4, there's another one of those gesture pages. So I'm going to skip 4, 5, 6, 7. I might leave this because this has a lot of, oh, blank page. There you go. And another gesture page. So there we go. 7. This has a lot of poetry in it, like nursery rhyme type poetry. So it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. Now this guy is, I think he's black sheep, the little boy that goes down the lane to gather the wool. So I'm going to keep that because this is going to, I think this is probably going to be sort of a fairy tale, nursery rhyme themed type junk journal, because the pictures in it, the actual subject of the book is, you know, nursery rhymes and stuff. So it's a bit of a nod to the book, and it you know, helps out when the book is on the subject that you're actually junk journaling as well. And also it's nice to keep some pages. Anytime, even if I've gutted a book completely, I will incorporate at least one of its own pages back into the book. It's a little bit of a superstition that a lot of junk journalers have of you need to honor the book and nod to the book. Now, I have a lot of pages that I'm sort of keeping in the book, so I don't really need to do that, but I probably will anyways, just as you know, I hope you have a good life as a junk journal. Oh, I tore one out that had blank. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. This is what these book pages are for. This is what I do with the book page, or one of the things I do. Envelopes, decorated pages. We've got Old King Cole here with the jesters. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to tear this page out. And I'll tear this page out. There's Old King Cole himself. So that's kind of nice. Blank page here. Now, you can also do another way of, it's time for an envelope, okay? So we're going to fold this one almost all the way down. Now we could just leave it at that. We could glue these two sides. So maybe I'll do that now just to show you. Let me see if I can get my glue going. Just give me a second here. Oh, yeah. I love this glue, by the way. Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. This is amazing glue. It never like gets stuck. You know, there's other ones that I've been using for years and years, but they often will get stuck. Now you can fold this either the way I'm doing it. So I'm folding this over. Some might actually fold it inside as opposed to outside, and some might tear this right off, because what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down here so that we have a little pocket. Okay, so here we go. Glue on the shorter side, only because then you won't get it wrong. All right, so yeah, I'll put a link to this glue because it is amazing, and it comes with a nice small point, because you don't want to be using glue that's just going to gush out on you. So there we have it. Once it's dry, it's going to be a nice little pocket. Oh, and then we've got Mistress Mary next with the jesters announcing her. The other thing, if I see chapters that have big words like that, I'll often cut out those words, because one thing you're always looking for is words. And depending on what mood you're in, and maybe you don't feel like stamping out that word, because I think, like, I do dark journals, so mistress just struck me as a, that's a good word. So there we go. We're going to start again, 2, 3, because this book is not wanting me to do it 11 at a time, but that's okay. We'll adjust. We'll adjust. Yeah, we can do this. Okay. Because the jesters are coming up quite a bit more often than I thought they would. And again, that's okay. Because you do want to leave some of these pages so you can glue stuff in, but also so that, you know, you can not waste the blank pages that are already there and conducive to what you want to do. So I'm going to leave this page just nothing, because this is a good page to maybe put this, like, where is it? Where did it go to? Well, to put this in, or, oh, here it is right in front of me. Or to put the envelope thing in, you know, so I'm not taking a blank page, putting it in the envelope. I might decide to do it on a blank page. I don't know. But I want to leave a written page inside. Now, this is The Wondrous Wise Man. So I'm going to leave him in, again, because he has a blankness over him, right? I'll tear out a couple of these pages. Oh, no. Blank. What little Jack Horner did. No, he's the guy that stuck his finger in the plum in the pie. What's your favorite pie? I love all kinds of different pies. I mean, I love strawberry rhubarb. It's so good when it's in season. Amazing pie. I do like a good apple pie, but I'm very picky about my apple pies. It has to be just the right kind of texture and everything. I really love peach pies. I haven't made a peach pie in forever. And my ultimate favorite is banana cream pie. And that's a bit of a labor of love, but, you know, it's worth it for me. I'm worth it. Okay, so this is little Jack Horner, who sat in the corner. He's kind of weird looking, but I love weird, right? So weird, yeah, that totally works for me. Now, I got this book at a thrift shop, so I paid $1 for this. So, you know, it's really good to haunt those thrift shops if you're looking for books, as opposed to haunting your own bookshelves if you have some that are full of, you know, things like that. Okay, so we don't have enough paper here to do this. Okay, Man in the Moon. I'm going to rip out Man in the Moon because I like that. Those words. And, oh my goodness, this has a lot of pages. All right, we've got the Man in the Moon. Now, let me see. I'm going to tear out these two, because it's amazing how fast you have to be mindful of how thick your book is, right? Because it starts to alligator pretty quick. And this is like, I'm not even done with this, and it doesn't feel like overly stuffed. It's a little beyond its means, but it's okay. That's half the fun, right? But I'm just saying, be mindful of how thick, because you can start to see the gaps, right? There's gaps in there from the pages I have torn out. Okay, so we're leaving this one. Jack Horner, here we are. We're gonna leave these two for now. Torn out this one, leaving this one. Man in the Moon. The Jolly Miller. I'm going to tear this one out, because this makes room for any of the decorating or envelope pockets, things like that, that you want to put in. All right, the Jolly Miller. Let's see how big. Okay, finally, we have a stretch of pages. So I'm going to tear out the Jolly Miller title page. And it's okay if they get crumpled. Just spread them out. It adds to the beauty of it. Like, I'll probably spray this down at some point. Now, we're going to make another pocket, okay? So I'm going to do it a different way this time. Again, you don't want to get right in the crease, okay? So what you want to do is you kind of want to fold it nicely. Now, like I was saying, some people will tear this part out because there's nothing like doing. Here we are to show you. Because what it does is it kind of takes away some of the bulk without taking the whole page out. Okay, so I'm going to just tear the part that I folded over. I hope you can see this okay. This is my second video with my new contraption. Okay, so there we go. We've got one. I'm going to distress it a little so you can see it, okay? So let's see the line. Can't tell you the number of times I come away with dirty, stained fingers because I've sprayed my own fingers as well. Now, the other way you can do it, so we're going to glue this part down to create a pocket. And then we're going to fold the second page just a little bit, like right in the margin, basically. Okay, so got a little bit of the margin there. And we're going to glue it down a second time to create a bigger pocket. Okay, so let me show you how it's done. So I've torn off about half the paper on this side. I'm going to glue it down like I did the other one, but this will be less bulky. And you can do this if you're just doing a single pocket too. Again, it's your journal, so you do with it as you will. Now, normally I would have what I call my bone and be, sorry, I'm just reaching for some Kleenex, and be smoothing it down with that. Next video, hopefully, because again, that's another game changer, right? So I've got this other glue too. So it's Elmer's Craft Bond. It's, I really like it, so I'm going to use it on here to glue this part down, this little margin. So I'm doing it on the inside this time, if you'll notice that. Now, I do have a word to say about the glue stick. So I'm going to glue this now down on the edges. Okay. And you just fold it to the next page. And now what you end up with is a page with 1, 2 pockets, okay? I don't want to stretch it out too early because it's still drying. But the thing about glue sticks is do not use the school ones, or probably, yeah, the ones you get at the dollar store. They do not glue. What you want is the Craft Bond from Elmer's, or that it's a specific craft glue stick. I've, gone to the dollar store, loaded up on glue sticks, because my granddaughters, when they come over, they always want to make their own mini journals too. And they go through glue like it's water. And I'm fine with them using the school glue, but I tried it as well, and it does not hold up. It's like in a week, you might have, that pocket might just come undone, you know. So you want the craft bond. It's worth it to invest in good glue. Don't chintz on glue, because you'll find you're doing it 2 and 3 times. Oh, this fell off again. Oh, this isn't staying, la la la. It just becomes a big headache. So you don't want to do that. Just learn from my mistakes. Don't go cheap. Okay, so we're back to tearing out some more pages. And like I said, it becomes less heart-wrenching. And it's especially comforting. Oh, am I doing 2? Oh, I guess I am doing 2 at a time. I don't normally do that. I must have grabbed 2 without realizing it. But this page is almost blank, so I'm going to leave this because it means I have room to do some decorating or whatever. And again, blank page here. The Jesters with the next title, whatever it might be. And Hickory Dickory Dock. 1, 2. And by leaving 1 every once in a while is also another nod to the book. And that, you know, you're doing this with respect. And it would be a book that would normally sit on shelves probably a very long time. And even if thrift stores are selling them for $1 or 50 cents, I've gone and, you know, buy 10 books for $1 or whatever. It means they're overrun with books, and it means they're about to throw some in the garbage, which is really hard, even harder for me to kind of see and accept. Rather than, you know, I'll take it home and I'll make it beautiful and I'll make it a treasure for someone. And I gave my sisters, I'm the oldest of 7 kids, so I gave all my sisters a junk journal for Christmas a couple of years ago, and they loved them because they're like, oh, I heard about these things, and they just loved all the little decorating I did. It was all Christmas themed, those books, but I think I might do some more for them. Oh, there's little Bo Peep herself, so I'm going to keep that page. It's probably blank on the back. Yes, it is. There you go. And again, we can do another sort of pocket or tuck. So this time I'm going to go from the top. All right, something like that. I want a little more over. There we go. A tuck from the top. So that means I could, do I have my envelope somewhere around? Come on, envelope, where'd you go? All right, we'll find you in a second here. Okay, but let's say this is an envelope, just for fun. Or a secret note. Perhaps it's a ticket to a concert you really love. And if, once this is glued down, you can just tuck it in there and it'll stay in there. So that's always fun, right? So I might as well do this while I'm here. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So again, I love this precision glue. Sometimes people will glue into there as well. I generally don't, but I just did a little bit there to show you what can be done. Now you can make it a tuck up spot, a tuck up spot like this, right? Like that. Or you can glue this whole page down, which I think I might do, and you can make it a pocket. So you got 2 pockets basically in one. So I'm going to glue this one down. I'm going to come around here. Here we go. And again, it's a 2 pocket or tuck spot. It's a pocket this way and a pocket that way. Pretty neat, eh? Now, continuing on. So we've got a number of pockets in here already, and we haven't even finished. So half the work is done, right? But when I do these envelopes, did I find my envelope? Must be under here somewhere. Ah, here it is. So when I do these envelopes, I'll sit for an evening and just kind of do these up. And then I don't need to do any envelopes for a very long time because I have a lot of envelopes like that are pre-made like this. And there's a little circle cutter that I use a little tag for, like, so you know that's where the opening is, that sort of thing. But I have a friend of mine, she's amazing. She sends me these really cool cards. And it's usually like, when I saw this, I thought of you. And it's like, I had some, I think in the last video. So she sent me a greeting card with a cat that had a witch's hat on and had all kinds of fall type things around it. And a lot of the times the cards she sends me are great. At Christmas, she sent me a Baba Yaga, a Baba Yaga card with, it was a Christmas card. It was a dark Christmas card. I loved it because she knows I can go dark and I love going dark. But also even the envelopes that come with some of these cards are amazing. You know, it's like, oh my God, I get excited, not because you've given me a card, but because I look at the card and see, what can I do with this? Is the envelope cool too? I mean, if it's just a white envelope, that's okay. It's a little vanilla, but I can embellish it up, not to worry. And even embellishments, I'll sit and do those for an evening sometimes too. So this is Tommy Tucker. He's eating a giant sandwich, it looks like. So there he is. So I'm going to keep that because I know there's a blank page behind him. And you know, like if I gift it to someone or if I keep it for myself, these are all black and white pictures. I mean, we could color those in if we wanted to, right? So, you know, there's lots you can do with junk journals, right? Or sometimes I just sit and flip through some of the ones that I've made for myself personally, because what I've done is I put in beautiful pictures. I've really, you know, embellished with the lace and the buttons, and like the act itself is awesome and healing, but then looking at it, just flipping through and calmly looking at art. There's something about looking at art, whether it's a picture on the wall or something you've done in a book, or, you know, any kind of, you know, cross stitching, for instance. There's a picture involved, and oh, I should have kept that because it's blank. Oh well, that's okay. Pussycat Mew. Okay, so I'm going to continue to tear. Now I want to show you, because we got a fair amount to go so far, and I'm already 47 minutes in. So what I'm looking for then is some of these bigger gaps. Okay, so you close the book, and there's a bit of a gap here. So there's a gap here. And what I can do when I want to is I can put a signature in there, because I've already torn out a lot of the pages, right? And it's in there. Now what you're going to do this is you're going to do a little hand sewing. Don't worry, it doesn't take a lot of skill, because I'm doing it and I don't have a lot of skills. So if I'm doing it, you can do it too. Oh my gosh, these papers smell amazing. Now, here we are. Here's a tool that you're going to want to get. It's called an awl. Now, I did use a screwdriver until I got one of these. And again, this is a game-changing tool. As you can see, I've also used it to unblock my glue, because I do have other glues that I use, which are great glues. But when I came across this, I just recently got this. I don't have to use the awl ever again. And it's a little more expensive, but so worth it. So what you want to do is you want to press into the center, okay? So you kind of want to find center. So it's fine that you've stapled this. The signature is together for you. So you're going to find center, or what feels like center to you, and go with it. You know, like, just go with the flow. Just trying to find where in the book it is. Okay, here we are. So you're going to press, 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 and hang on, bear with me. Here we go. So as you can see, it's coming out through. You want it on this part of the book. You don't want it coming out on the side. You want it sort of spaced, well spaced, and knowing that you might put one or two more signatures in here. So the more you press, the further down you get, the bigger the hole gets. So you just got to work it a little. But the awl can press through anything. Almost anything. I mean, maybe it won't press through diamonds, but it will get through a lot. Okay, so we've got it through. Now we're going to pull it out. And I'm going to go just above the first staple, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing, basically. Sorry if I go off camera here. I'm giving it a lot of muscle. Good workout. Okay, it's already through. See? It doesn't take much to get it through. And even someone like me who's not the strongest person in the world can do it. So if I can do it, you can do it. It's all good. And just keep pressing through. Like I said, the further out it comes, the bigger the hole is. So we're going to undo that one. Okay, and then make sure you're lined up. Yep. Okay, and then you're going to, this is tricky because I don't want to let go. The second staple, you're going to do just outside there. And you're doing the same thing. The paper, the signature itself, is really easy to get through. It's the cover that sometimes is a bit tricky. But like I said, if you've got an awl, it's so easy with an awl. A-U-L. That's how it's spelled. If you're looking it up, I'll put a link for it in the description for Amazon if you want. And that way you can just, oh, this is what she was talking about. Okay, so now sewing. So a lot of times I do tend to use these crochet needles. One, because they're plastic and they get through, and you don't need anything too fancy, right? So you want a ribbon that's about 3 times the length of the book, and I just leave a little for good luck, as I call it. So 1, 2, 3, okay? So you want to make sure that you cut that. Don't get stingy on the ribbon. Been there, done that, doesn't work. Just know you're going to have to do the ribbon. So then what I'm going to do is, this can be a little difficult at first, but here we are. All right, sometimes you got to put the awl in the other side to kind of guide it through. Where's the hole? There it is. Okay. Just pushing the, now I'm sewing with ribbon. You can sew with twine. You can sew with thread itself. I like something pretty sturdy. Okay, almost there. Hang on. Almost there. It's not really as hard as it looks. It just looks hard. So make sure I'm all lined up here. Sometimes the book hole, don't be such a book hole, can be a little, don't screw up my tuck there. I mean, if it does screw up, so be it. I know, these things happen, right? It's there, I swear to God. And it's not as hard as I'm making it out to be. Oh dear. Normally it goes right in, but of course, Murphy's Law, why would it do that? There, I think we're in. Yep, there. We've got the red tip out, so that's good. The tip is out. Ah, there we go. Yes, now we're cooking with Crisco. Okay, so you want to pull it towards the center. Start with the center. Come on, you. There we go. Nah. They say if you keep your grip strength up, it lengthens your life. So I'm going to live forever, apparently. Because I'm gripping this hard and pulling it through. And I've done this many, many different times. Sometimes I have to get a piece of rubber to kind of help me hold it. Because sometimes I slide. Come on, you. That's the other thing. Plastic is bendable, so it's good and it's bad. Oops, don't lose the thread. Like I said, I'm just doing this with black ribbon. I need a thimble. There we go. It's going, it's going. It's going. Here we are. Ah. this nice and big because I know this needle can be a little stubborn at times. But like I said in my other video, just keep going. Just keep going. Force it through. Doesn't want to come through. Oops. Putting so much effort in, other things are falling down in my, as a show of support of my struggle. This is going to be hard to do because this needle is way bigger than the hole is. But I will get it, not to worry. I have a pair of pliers. I thought I saw pliers not too long ago. Not sure what I did with them though. Come on, you're just right there. Oh, no one wants to watch me do this. This part. We did this once before with this needle and it worked out perfectly. Maybe I should have gone with another needle. Okay, I'm going to take this out. It's clearly, it doesn't want to work for me. So I'm sorry about that, folks. But I'm going to grab another needle. So I'm pretty sure I have some. Where do I have some? Can I pause it? I don't know if I paused it or not. Sorry about this, folks. I'll be right back. I gotta get a needle. A needle. Okay, I'm back. I live in organized chaos, so I knew exactly where my needles were, so I've got some needles here, which is good. This is going to be so much easier once I find the right needle. Oh, I thought that was a good one, but it's gone now. Okay. Sometimes I stab myself with the needles, so that's why sometimes I avoid the sharp ones. But this thicker one is not going to go through at all, so we'll figure it out. Just thread my needle. This is going to go really fast, okay? And you're going to find when you watch junk journalers, we do a lot of this. Yeah, okay, we thought we had a good way of doing stuff, and it did not work out. So what I'm doing is I'm sewing in the center. Then I'm going to go down on the top one, okay? Find your hole in the top one. Come on, needle. Okay, this is the top one. We're going to go in through the top. Make sure everything's lined up. Yep, just stabbed myself. There we go. It's super easy, okay? And you're going to see lots of examples of it. So it's, oh, now it's giving me grief. Come on, you silly thing. There we go. Okay, so in through the top, right? And then you're going to go down you're going to go all the way to the bottom page of the page where the third hole is. And you're going to insert that in the hole. Oop, almost stabbed myself again. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, here we go. Find the hole. There. Easy peasy. Found the hole. This is not hard to pull out. It's just getting it through, right? Okay, so there we go. We've got the third one in. So we went in the center, out the center actually, came up to the top, went in the top, went all the way to the bottom one, came out there, and then we're going to come up in the center where we started. Come on, find the spot. Where are you? Hang on while I get the right pages here. Okay, let's try this again. There you go. There you be. Nope. Sliding in the wrong way. This is when it would be good to have one of those things that holds pages. I do have one in my craft room, but I forgot to bring it out. It's okay. Crisis averted. We're coming back up in the center where you started. Okay, we're going to pull, pull, pull. There we go. Okay, put the needle back in the case. I always teach my granddaughters that. Put the needle back in the cushion or in the case, whatever the arrangement is, because it's too easy to lose a needle. You saw me lose the ruler many times, and you don't want to lose a needle and find that you're sitting on it or stepping on it or whatever. So then you take this center part, so you've just sewn it, see how neat it looks, and you tie it. Now some people will get it so it's finished at the bottom, but I tend to like the center because, and I knot it, because, and depending on what I'm using, if it's really nice ribbon, I might actually tie a ribbon into it. But sometimes I'll leave them long like this so they can kind of use them as bookmarkers as well. So I'm going to cut this one off a little bit because it's just a little bit too long. But that's the signature right in that book, right there, easy peasy. And again, I'm going to cut it so it's not ridiculously long, so that they can flip the pages if they want to. And you've just added a signature into this book. And that's how you start a journal. And see, this is what the looks like on the outside. It's nice and neat. You can cover that if you want. A lot of people will, but some people will just leave it because it looks pretty as it is. And I'd probably put in maybe 1 or 2 more signatures after tearing out more of the pages in the book. So I hope that helped you get a start and give you some ideas and tips. Please let me know if you have any questions about the journals. Watch some of my other journal flip throughs and things like that to get inspiration. I watch other artists myself to kind of see what they're doing and be like, oh, okay, this is a way to make life easier. So our next few videos are probably going to be like, what do I put in a journal? How do I make it? We're going to do like marathon stash making and that sort of thing. So I hope you'll join me for those. And again, if you have questions about journals and how to do it, or if you want to show me yours, I would love to see it. Okay, you can find me here on YouTube under Goddess Garage. Please like and subscribe to the channel. You can find me on Facebook. I'm Rhonda Devlin-Gilbert on Facebook. Follow me if you like. I have a subscription thing, and I'm going to start doing special videos just for subscribers on Facebook. So it's like $1.30 or something a month. And then there's also Goddess Garage, my group on Facebook. So please join me on all those platforms. I also have Instagram. I think I'm Goddess Garage Canada or something like that. Anyways, type in Goddess Garage. You'll find me. And I would love to connect with you. Okay, take care. Be still, be gentle, and please find more things you love than you hate. Okay, bye.